What's going on, guys? I've got here a 2004 Ford Focus, and I'm using this car to show you how to change your headlight bulbs. I'm also going to go over the fuses and the relays for the headlights. So to start with, looking at the headlight bulbs, you've got a protective rubber boot here that we remove just by pulling out. Sometimes they can be quite hard to remove, but if you just pull real hard, it should come out. Now we can look inside, and we're first going to see the connector. So the connector, we've got to remove that first before this bulb can come out. And again, just like the protective rubber boot, it just pulls out. However, it can be on there pretty good. So sometimes you've got to wiggle it quite a bit to get it to come out. And if you can help it, don't pull on the wires. Pull on the connector itself. Sometimes if you pull on the wires, you can cause damage. So we can see here, it came right out. And now we're going to take this time to inspect the connector, check to see if it's corroded. This one, I don't really see any corrosion, but I can see where it looks a little chewed up. Now, looking at the bulb itself, it is held in with this wire retainer. So to get this out, you push the wire part in, pull it away from the hook. So I'll show that to you again. You push it in, pull it away from the hook, and let the wire swivel down. At this point, you can reach in and grab the bulb and pull it out. Now, this bulb is a 9003 dual filament bulb. So this bulb does both the high beam and the low beam. Now, to reinstall it, make sure to not touch the glass. Touching the glass can cause premature failure of the bulb. And there's a tab at the top of the bulb. It can only go in one way. So it's got to go in tab upward. And once you've got the bulb in, you rotate this wire clip upwards and rehook it. With the wire clip hooked in, we can now reconnect this connector here. And you may want to apply some dielectric grease to the connector. And finally, we reinstall the protective rubber boot. Now, let's say you've checked the bulb or you've changed the bulb and your headlights still aren't working. Well, I'm going to show you the fuses and the relays that you can check. So we're going to start with the fuse that's inside the car. This is a 7.5 amp fuse that provides power for the headlight switch and the multifunction switch that controls the high beams and the low beams. So that is going to be fuse right here, 59. So I'm popping that out. You can see this is what a good fuse looks like. Having checked that, we're gonna head back under the hood. There are a number of fuses and relays for us to inspect that are behind this cover here. So we remove this cover by lifting up. Our high beam relay is here, and right next to it we have the low beam relay. My favorite way to troubleshoot relays is I'll have the headlights turned on and I'll tap on the relays. If after I tap on the relay, the light starts to work, then I know that the relay might be getting stuck. Further troubleshooting beyond that, we can pull the relay out and swap it. So let's say my high beams aren't coming on. I can put the low beam relay in the position of the high beam relay. And if after making the switch, my high beams start to work, then I know that my original relay is probably no good. One way you can know if the relays are working is if your fuses are receiving power. So let's go over the fuses. This is the low beam fuse for the passenger side. 10 amp fuse right there. That's fuse 17. Fuse 16, which is above it, is the low beam fuse for the driver's side. So the exposed metal on the fuse, if you're getting power there, then you know that the relays are engaging. For the high beams, your car will be set up in one of two ways. You could have a single 15 amp fuse here in position 27, in which case this fuse provides power for the high beams on the passenger and driver side. Or you could have two 15 amp fuses, one here and one here. If that's the case, the one above it will be for the driver's side and this will be for the passenger side. Now, one other troubleshooting step you can do is you can engage the circuit manually. So for the high beams, if I connect these two pins together, I will be sending power directly to the high beam bulbs. So this is just a troubleshooting step. Connect those 2 pins and see if the lights come on. So yeah, I hope all this information was a good starting point for you in troubleshooting the headlights on your Ford Focus. If you have any questions or any advice about the headlights, please let us know down below, and thank you for watching.